first things first, happy Saturday, everyone. Well, I actually have a combination of two lows. The first is, we got snow. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. The roads still pretty, drivable, excuse me. But I can definitely see how if it snows like it is, it's probably gonna, make things even more difficult to drive in. Not to mention, the good news is, last night, I got a fairly better sleep than normal. The problem is, though, for whatever reason, I just feel so lethargic. Like, slow to react lethargic. I mean, physically I feel fine. In fact, I'm feeling pretty solid. I don't know, maybe I just came down with something small. Hopefully it'll wear off by the end of the day because I'll be having a disco night over at Illegal. That's gonna be fun. My high is, obviously I got to see my family, and when I was out and about, when I was out and about last night, getting dinner and going to Illegal, I saw a few people I knew, and it was nice. And, not to mention, I called my mom. I actually went to bed pretty early. It was like, just before 9:45. I wanted to try and get a good night's sleep. And I did, but probably a little bit too well. If you can tell, I'm not as reactive or excited as I normally am. Also, I finished something yesterday. That's another high that I had. My act of kindness is, I did some stuff for my grandma yesterday. I took her to the hairdresser and got her some of the groceries. But also, I guess you can consider this an act of kindness, even though you should do it. An act of kindness really should be something, how do I put this? If you know for a fact that you do something good because it feels good doing it, or because you're helping someone and that's good, that's an act of kindness. For me, the act of kindness, I did stuff for my grandma too, but also, again, I called my mom, and, told her I loved her, which, I do. Funny enough, it's literally almost 10 after 6 in the morning. Chances are, she's already either awake or she's about to be awake. The place where she works is only a 5-minute drive, so she doesn't really need to worry about much. The roads are still pretty not good. So, this is actually a very special day. Because, so, I read about another book. So, if you recall, about a month ago, actually over a month ago, it was still 2023, I finished reading a book called Wild at Heart by John Eldridge. And this book, Who Moved My Cheese, is by Dr. Spencer Johnson. When I read Wild at Heart, I definitely learned a lot. It helped me get over, it helped build my confidence. It made me happier. There were things in the book I could relate to. And it finally helped me get over the heartbreak that was ailing me over the last 2 years. I wouldn't say finally, but it made me feel a lot better. It definitely built my confidence. So, regarding this book, the name of the game regarding this book is change, and how people can react to it. It's actually a very short read. It's literally only 94 pages. And I read the bulk of this book in about an hour, just over an hour or so. And, well, here's the thing. I read the introduction, and I read the bulk of the story that this book is describing. The sort of the epilogue part, or, hold on, where is it? Oh, hold on. The discussion part of the book, that I did a few days later, after a few really bad days later. The point is, I finished this book, and I did learn a lot from this. I did. I said the name of the game of this book is change and how we embrace, adapt, and react to it. So, regarding what the story in this book is about, because there's sort of like an introduction, a sort of like, basically, what happens in this book is, there's these adults that get together for a high school reunion. And they're talking about their lives and how, what they've been up to over the last, I forget how many years, was it 10 years in this book? Anyway, after X number of years since they graduated high school. And the key similarity is change was going on all around them. And then there's this one guy, I believe his name was Michael, in the book. He talks about this one story. It's a story within a story. Inception. Anyway, so the story that Michael, I believe, talks about is a story about two mice and two very, very tiny people that are the size of mice. And they are in this giant maze. And obviously, I mean, you've all seen the whole mouse in a maze looking for cheese before. That's what this is. The two mice's names are Sniff and Scurry, while the two very little people are called Hem and Haw. Now, obviously, humans mice are smart for animals. They can be. But obviously humans are smart. We have much more cognitive thinking. We're able to do more. And obviously we have an opposable precision grip. Okay? So basically, in this maze, the two mice and the two little people are looking for cheese. And they eventually find this one giant hoard of it. But as the days go by, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, the two mice, Sniff and Scurry, they actually see this change right away, and Sniff is able to sniff out the fact that the cheese is getting lower, and Scurry is meant to represent the fact that the mice go and react to what's going on. Now, humans, we're not really quick to do that. I mean, we can notice change, but unless it's truly significant, we're not going to really react to it. So unfortunately, because of that, when really big change finally does happen, we're so accustomed to what we're normally used to that we're sort of hemmed in to, staying where we are. Get it? One of the characters' name is Hem. He's hemmed in the situation. Now, Ha is like Hem for a while. He doesn't necessarily embrace change right away. He does. So Ha goes off into the maze looking for more cheese. And eventually, Ha is able to laugh at himself. You get it? Ha ha. And he's able to laugh at himself, and he's laughing at the fact that it was silly that he didn't embrace change, when if he had embraced change, then, he'd probably be better off. Meanwhile, Hem stays right where he is, thinking that the cheese will come back, but, he doesn't. So eventually, the two mice find an even bigger hoard of cheese. Ha eventually finds one, and as for Hem, we don't really know if he actually, goes out looking for the cheese himself. So, what I learned from this book is, whether we like it or not, or whether we realize it or not, change happens all around us. And when it does, you really do have, this really is a one of four cases scenario here. I mean, if change does happen, you can try and sense it or sniff it out and, knows that it's happening. You could be one of those people that takes action, gets it done right away, and scurry into action. Again, sniff and scurry. You could simply not embrace change. Hopefully things stay the way they are, and therefore you're hemmed into a situation. You don't want to move or anything, you don't want to do anything. Or, in the case of Ha, you can embrace change eventually, and, when you finally do, you're able to laugh at yourself and like, man, why was I ever like I used to be and not embrace change, when if I had, I'd be better off. And this book really is much like life. Again, change happens all around us. And I know that at the end of the day, the important thing to do is to embrace change and try and be okay with it. I get that. I mean, I've been open to change before. I've adapted to change before. I've been accepting of change before. Absolutely. But I will admit, at some point in our lives, we all wind up being like him. There have been plenty of times where I totally did not embrace the change. I, didn't like the change at all, and it did wind up hurting me because of it. And there have been times I have been Ha where, I didn't accept change at first, but then as time went on, I was able to, embrace it and adapt to it, and I could eventually laugh at myself and make fun of myself about the fact that, like, man, why didn't I just simply embrace change to begin with? I'm glad I did embrace change, but I could have done it sooner. Again, you can, laugh it off, ha ha. There have been plenty of times I have been sniff and or scurry. I did notice the change right away, and so I think, oh man, I should probably do something about that. I should probably get whatever I need to get done and finished. So, this is actually a very good book. Again, it's a quick read. I got the majority of the book done within a couple hours. And then I waited a few. Basically, what I did was I read the parts where the high school reunion was happening and the friends get together, and the bulk of the maze story, of the move my cheese story. Again, the maze, the two people, the mice, and the cheese. I got to the discussion yesterday, and it really, and the people in the book, are able to, in a way, relate to all the characters in some way. Because some people in this book, during the discussion portion of this book, talk about how, there have been times I didn't embrace change for my job, and I wind up getting fired or looking for a new career path. There are some of the people in this book, do in fact embrace change and, go for more cheese, if you will. Basically, cheese is a metaphor for the thing in life that you're looking for in life. Okay, I said that wrong. For the thing you're looking for. Perhaps that cheese involves a new job. Perhaps that cheese involves, finding someone to like. Perhaps that cheese could be, maybe it could be actual cheese. I don't know. But this is a very good book. I know that I need to embrace change in my life. And believe me, I do try and do that. In fact, quite recently I had to adapt to a few changes as well. And yes, change can be hard to deal with. It can be. Change isn't always easy. The only way to best describe how change can be easy is if you are like sniff and scurry. Like, you sense the change right away, and you're able to go and adapt to it. Meanwhile, there are parts about change that are hard to accept. And so you can be like him and or her and, not embrace it. And maybe at least for a little bit you're okay. But more often than not, when you don't embrace change, life can get hard. It amazes me how much I learned from this book. So, if you're one of those people that's going through a lot of change, maybe looking for a new job, or perhaps maybe somebody broke up with you and, now you're on your own, or, maybe you lose something or someone, this is the kind of book you gotta read for, embracing change. And again, there have been plenty of times when I haven't opened to change and I was able to embrace it and I was better off. And there have been plenty of times where the exact opposite happened. So, and here's the thing. This book kind of pokes fun at the fact for those who don't embrace it. Listen, what you do regarding change is entirely up to you. It is. I mean, again, it's okay to be like him. It can be. But unless you're really embracing change, you're not really going to, see what's out there and what can be better. I've had to go through some changes recently that were hard. But, and it did make me panic for a little bit, but, I was able to put on my bootstraps and get things done. And now I have a different routine, a better routine in my life. And that's really cool. So I'm glad I read this book. Very informative, very good, and I learned a lot from this book, and, maybe you guys can enjoy it too. I mean, you can actually get this book for like $10 on Amazon. So, that's one way to get it. Yeah, it was a good read. I liked it. Just like I hope you all liked this video. And if you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humbled to make this video for all you guys watching the show today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I said happy Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk to the channel, always be here to lend in. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.